Warning. Listening to this podcast for prolonged periods of time may cause cognitive dissonance. All names have been changed to protect the innocent and insane.
Helena, happy 2012. It's so good to see you here on Facebook. You look great. How are you, beautiful? I'm doing well. That is a pic of me and my dog Misty, who died in the spring. The kids are all grown and out of the house with families of their own. I retired back to Scottsdale last May, and then I took a cruise in the fall. The food was so-so, and the sights were okay. There were a lot of beggars and poverty there. I went with Jackie. Do you remember Jackie? Her husband passed in 2009, around the time my Robert left us. How is your Paul? Is he still in practice? I bet he is. He always was a workaholic. I think I'm going to get a new puppy pal over the summer. Jackie found us a quilting cruise, so we're going to do that soon, and then I'll get a puppy to replace Misty. I don't think we're going to go to Mexico this time.
Dear Mark, CW contacted my office this morning to inform me that you're still in contact with Ellen. Mark, this is not what we talked about. I appreciate your relationship with her and the fun you've had with these letters, but it's time to put this whole thing to bed. Please, send me the letters Ellen sent you and any copies of the letters that you've sent her, if you still have them. I still need you to send me the letters that were not in the original package. You've had your fun, but this needs to stop. CW has been reasonable and easy to work with so far. Can we please keep it that way? I left all this on your answering machine, but I thought it was important to put it in writing too. Please, don't make me look bad, Mark. I'll see you at the series party. Let this also be a reminder to bring your deviled eggs and some of those candies, if you have any to spare. Also note, in writing, that I told you the A's would lose. Yours, Ellen. I mean Bonnie. Yours, Bonnie.
Dear Bonnie, here is the remainder of correspondence between me and the girls as you requested. You're right, I should have ended all communication. I just felt bad not responding to her. You'll see in my final letter I've requested she stop writing me. I've also included a handful of letters I'd filed away and forgotten about. Please, keep me informed as things progress. Mark.
June 25th, 1987. Dear Mark, here's a cashier's check for my first month's rent and a cashier's check for the security deposit. I don't know why they're called cashier's checks. I had to get them from the bank. It doesn't make a lot of sense if you ask me. I also don't think it makes much sense that I'm supposed to pay you for rent before I move in. When you go to a restaurant, you don't pay for your meal before you eat it. You pay for your meal after you eat it. So, I think I should pay you for July's rent after July is done. My father says that's not how it works and that I shouldn't complain because it's not my money anyways. So, I'm just letting you know that if it was my money, I would be complaining, but since it's not, I won't. Sincerely, Karen. I'm your new tenant.
Bonnie, attached is Ellen's rental application, which she handed to me after she had already moved in. I often wonder whether, if given a choice, I'd actually rent to her. Mark.
Personal information. Social security number. Driver's license number. I don't like to drive because I'm not very good at it. Telephone. Born June 19. 4:13 a.m. in Tucson, Arizona. I don't smoke and I have no pets. Addresses. June 1985 to present. Berkeley, California 94704. May 1984 to June 1985. Budapest, Hungary. Ava is the owner. Prior to 1984, my parents' house. Income. My parents give me $1,200 a month each month. I had a summer job last year, see below, and I plan to work there again this year. I also receive $350 a month each month from a family trust fund. I can give you copies of my bank statements if the bank will give them to me. What I'm looking for. Ideally, I would like to find a landlord who is either a Gemini like myself or a Sagittarius. Sagittarius is 180 degrees from Gemini, so we would get along very well. I would consider renting an apartment from a Taurus or a Cancer, but obviously they would not be my first choices. I would not rent from a Scorpio. The owner of the building where I am living now is a Virgo, and I'm a Gemini. Our signs are at a 90-degree angle, so we don't get along. I can't rent an apartment from a Virgo or Pisces. Their signs are at right angles to mine, so their sun is in a sign which is square to mine. Landlords born very close to 91 days apart will have their sun square the other, which would be a real problem for me. Moon square sun is also difficult, but I am willing to risk that for a really great little place. For example, a Leo would irritate me at times, but with patience, we could deal with each other. References. Ice cream company. My manager was. I had a summer job there last year. They didn't fire me, they just didn't need me anymore. I think they'll need me again this year, though. Ava. I lived at Mrs. house for the summer 2 years ago. Ask for operator 17 in Budapest. Have her ring Ava. Budapest is in Hungary, but Ava speaks English, so you don't have to worry about that. Madam Madam's phone number is unlisted, but I can get a message to her and she can call you back. Madam is my astrologer. She will have to do a chart on my new landlord before I can sign a lease. Pickles. I had a job there for a short while, but I don't think you need to know about that. If you do, let me know, and I'll let them know. And then I'll let you know whatever they let me know.
October 2nd, 1987. Dear Karen and Ellen, I received your rent check for the month of October, which is $231 short. I cannot accept any of the deductions you included. I'm not sure how one losses a porch light, but replacing a lost porch light is not a landlord's responsibility. Had the light broken through normal wear and tear, it could be considered the responsibility of the landlord to replace. However, your admittance that you lost it makes it wholly your responsibility to replace. Additionally, it is not the responsibility of a landlord to pay for a tenant's binoculars. I appreciate your willingness to look out for trouble. However, I cannot condone nor pay for the spying on of a tenant's neighbors, regardless of how fishy they seem. I will be at her cottage on Wednesday to fix the Caldwell sprinkler heads, which were all mysteriously broken late last Friday night. Please have a check prepared for the remaining $231 of your October rent. Sincerely, Mark.
October 5th, 1987. Dear Mark, when I said we lost the porch light, I meant that we think it got stolen. Does that make it your responsibility to replace it? We needed the binoculars so we could see who stole the porch light. I think that means you're supposed to pay for those, too. We're sorry we didn't see you when you were here. We didn't hear the doorbell ring. Yours, Karen.
October 7th, 1987. Dear Karen, in my many years of experience as a landlord, I cannot think of a single reason a landlord would be responsible for buying their tenants binoculars. Had your porch light actually been stolen, binoculars would offer no help, considering the crime had already been committed. If you truly believe your porch light was stolen, I would be happy to fill out a police report for you to submit to the Oakland PD. Once that report has been submitted, I would be willing to rebate you the cost of the porch light you've already purchased without my prior authorization. Sincerely, Mark.
October 11th, 1987. Dear Mark, I don't think we need to do a police report. Here are 2 checks for the rest of the rent. 1 check from me for $106. 1 check from Ellen for $127. Ellen is paying more because she wasn't home when the porch light got lost. Yours, Karen.
This is unbelievable. Where did you even get this?
It's a long story, but I want to get to work on this right away. We need the entire team out here, like yesterday.
On it.
Hey, and until I say so, no one knows about this.
Okay. Well, here's what I found. So I was Facebook stalking Karen, and she has like nothing up there. She's got like 50 friends or something, and then
imagine that
she just. I don't. Well, considering like the average Facebook user has like 300, that makes sense. And so, of course, I'm looking for a Rob. There's like no Robs in there. Yeah, I don't think there is a Robert amongst her friends. So I was like, okay, so maybe they're divorced, they're not talking, but then there's a bunch of people named. So I started looking, and there's this one guy who just seems really, really like he should be Rob. He just has the look of a Rob, and he's into like classic cars and shit. And so I'm like, it's gotta be him. So I start looking at him and his friends and his family. And
wait, what's his name?
what I love is like,
so it's basically the equivalent of being named like Rob Robertson.
Anyway, so I looked at his profile. And I looked at his family and whatever, and I was like, I just have a feeling about this. So I went to Ancestry, and lo and behold, they are married.
They were
still
married.
They were.
Okay.
So then I started doing a little more digging, and I'm looking at like photos of him, and it seems like he's got these kids. So I was like, okay, are these her kids? Well, first of all, so they were born in the like 50s.
Okay, so this is like the whole time you're talking to me, I'm trying to absorb all this, but all I'm thinking is if he's 60 and she also is, which I somehow never even picked up on, maybe it's not on her profile, like that doesn't add up to them being teenagers in the 80s.
No, they would have been like late 20s, early 30s. My math is failing me. I don't have my murder board in front of me. But like, according to the birth records that I found, they would have had one child already, at least one.
Was it a girl?
Yes, it was a girl.
Could it
Yes,
be?
it was.
Could it be Ellen?
It very well could be, because she would have been like 7 or 8.
Which explains like the strange childlike innocence. Well, no, I know, but wait, you said you found Ellen, or you thought you did.
Well, yeah, that's a different. We'll get to that.
Okay, this is my first video using this phone, so I'm not really sure if I'm doing this right. But this is a mouse I caught with a humane mousetrap. And I wanted everyone to see it because I think it's the right thing to do if you have mice or a mouse in your house. Now I'm just gonna, I don't know if I should put my finger in there. I'm just gonna pull this lever and, oh, there he goes. There goes the mouse. And he's fine. The mouse is fine. He didn't have to die, and now he's free.